Hello and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews and kitty cats. This is my cat, U-chan, and today we're going to look at a craft beer. I guess we can call it craft beer. Actually, they're kind of a major beer in Australia, and that is Coopers. And Coopers Brewery has a couple of new beers, and I have reviewed the Pacific Pale Ale, and this is called their XPA, which stands for Extra Pale Ale. And Coopers, let's talk a little bit about Coopers here. Coopers has a very long history in Australia. Thomas Cooper, the founder, emigrated to Australia in 1852 and started brewing 10 years later in 1862. And in 1881, they moved to their current site in Adelaide, Australia. And it is still family owned. Apparently, they're in the 6th generation now of family ownership. In Australia, the big brewers, Lion Nathan, which is basically controlled by Kirin, Japan's Kirin, and Carlton, which is controlled by SAB Miller. Those two breweries control about 90% of the Australian beer market, and apparently Coopers has 4.4%. So, and they're probably most famous for their sparkling ale, which I think people say is probably a native Australian style of beer, the sparkling ale. If you've never had it, give it a try. Oh, somebody's settling down in my lap now. Okay. All right, so this is a fairly new beer, I believe, from them. I have never seen it before. It's not one of their flagship beers, maybe becoming so. I'll put a link to my Coopers playlist, and you can take a look at the other beers in the playlist here. This one is 5.2% and 37 international bittering units. And another thing is 375 milliliters, and in Japan we're typically used to 350, and many other breweries often use 333 or 330, something like that. So this is a little extra, definitely. Rate beer, there were 62 ratings when I checked, and that's why I say it's probably new, because there's not so many ratings for it. And the average is 3.34, and for all beers on Rate Beer, 45 percentile, and for its style, which is pale ale, 50 percentile, so right in the middle. On tap, there were 9,160 ratings when I checked, and the average was 3.41, so a little bit higher. And this one cost 275 yen, where I purchased it at a Yamaya liquor store, and that would turn out to be about $1.80 US or 1.70 euros. And the hops in this are two very nice ones, Simcoe, which I love, and Lemon Drop from the US. And I'm not quite as familiar with Lemon Drop. I know I've heard of it, and I'm sure I've had some beers with it, but I don't know the characteristics of it. And let's, shall we give this one a go? Okay, I've been pleased with, just about everything that Coopers has made, for sure. Okay, just a quick look at the label art here. Can fermented. Okay. I was kind of scolded by an Australian, I believe an Australian beer drinker, for suggesting the use of sugar, and it's all malt. This is all malt beer for sure. But I wondered if they perhaps used some kind of sugar for fermentation, in can fermentation. I'm not really sure. This has hops and malt, and so okay. As home brewers, if you've been a home brewer, you use powdered sugar, a little bit of sugar in the into the wort just before you the fermented wort just before you bottle it to wake the yeast up and give you some carbonation. Okay, and okay, So label art is kind of new on all their beers now. Everything, and sparkling the ale and the dark and everything else. Okay, let's give this one a go. Okay, it does have some, we call it floaters in it. Some kind of sediment coming around. This certainly must be an unfiltered beer. A bit of bloopy sort of carbonation coming up, and about a half a finger of white foam. Okay. Oh, I'm definitely getting some citrus out of this. Something like grapefruit. Maybe lemon drop. Okay. Okay, flavor similar. There's a bit of fruitiness in the initial. Something not strong fruitiness, something mild like a ripe apple. And then definitely some citrusy sort of hops coming through. Lemon drop seems to be taking precedence over the Simcoe. Simcoe is generally a kind of sort of a danker, darker, a little bit greener kind of hop. It's a good body on this, definitely for a pale ale. Yeah, so you can see the floaters hanging around in here. So an unfiltered pale ale, fermented in the can. Not fermented, but certainly conditioned in the can. Label art here. No additives or preservatives. Okay. Yeah, this is very pleasant. I like this. I think I could give it a maybe 3.4 out of 5. Something like that. Yeah, very pleasant beer. These are available again. The whole line of Coopers tends to be available these days at Yamaya stores, so go give them a try. And let me know what you think about this one here. And if I've made any mistakes and you know more about Australian beer than I do, please do let me know. Okay, send me a comment and do subscribe to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Here in Japan, we're almost at the end of a rather long winter. The temperatures are rising very slowly, and the cherry blossoms are kind of in bloom. People are out photographing them, and I assume this weekend there will be a lot of hanami parties, which is flower viewing parties, cherry blossoms. People have picnics and drink a lot, and so that should be going on this weekend. I never really tend to do that, but I save my drinking for here. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.